So we're on to the last of the piping here. We've got the drain piping in. This particular washer, you can see the upper smaller pipe here. What that is, it's a suds overflow. A lot of them just have them up at the top of the back. This one, it actually, if you get an over sudsing or too much water or whatever in there, it'll go down into the drain pipes and keep it from being a mess on the floor. This one over here, I had a little bit of a just conflict with the angle to the breaker panel there. So I had to put an extra little piece of rubber in that. Just putting the covers back on now. One thing I always want to do is after you get all the stuff in, then put the covers on, because if the covers are on, you put everything behind it, you'll never get them off again, or you won't know if you can get them off. So if you ever got to get in, change the belts back in here, that motor, maybe some main bearings down the road, you want to be able to get in there. So we got lots of the electrical, all has lots of flex here. Even the main one, we've got room on that. And what I did is, you see this line right across here, is I just took it out back and took a Sawzall and cut it in half. And if you look back deep in the darkness here, you'll see the ones we put in 5 years ago, we did the same thing. It's something I did years ago when I was in maintenance. They'd build fan covers and stuff, and they're just either too big and awkward to deal with, or there's just too much around them, so we'd always make sure we could get them on and off easy enough. So we do the same thing here. In a bolted together bulkhead, I don't believe you legally have to have a cover, because the cover of the bulkhead becomes the cover against the motor. But if you're ever in here and you're working on something, drain line or something, I'd just soon have the covers on. And a lot of times these bulkheads are easy to get off. As long as you can get them off with tools, you need tools, or they're locked, then they're considered a cover. But again, I prefer to have the covers on the back. It's only something years from now you'll need to get into them. But that's one trick there. After you get everything in, just cut them in half. Not quite sure what the manufacturers think about this, but it works for me, and it's worked back here. Fortunately, I've never had to get in the back of there, but I know if I do have to, that the covers went on at the end, and I knew they fit. So, I'll put a little guard in here just because that pipe had to get bent out of the way a little bit. This one's actually down a little farther, so we'll end up notching the notch goes through about here. I put it on a bit more of a slope just so the stuff would run down a little easier, and it was just the angle that I ended up with this pipe. So I'll cut this initially right out where that piece is, but then I'll probably end up notching the bottom piece just down around. I'll probably come here and just got some extra holes here we can use for bolting, or clamp on there or something. But we'll have 3 in there. It'll be pinned in behind the bulkhead. This particular bulkhead, it's not going to be anchored to the floor. I'll pull it over. I may just run a one clamp or a bolt to the washers, but it's got a bit of flexibility. I can move it around just a little bit to get into the bolts behind there. Just the way I built it, these ones ended up right behind the frame, the bulkhead frame. So just wanted to throw that in out there. It's something that we've done before and it works well. I said I've done it for years. So we'll talk to you later on.